what's that Sun Tzu saying? Winning every battle is not the height of excellence. Winning every battle without even having to fight, that is supreme mastery. And, well, China's video game companies vow to boycott overseas platforms and close loopholes for young gamers amid tighter limits. We can roundly condemn China's, what was it the Guardian journalist called them? Overly regulatory habits. But they are damned good at it, aren't they? To the point where now the gaming companies are actually gathering together in their own little alliance of 213 gaming companies, including Tencent and NetEase, for the express purpose of censoring themselves. I mean, you can hate the game, but you gotta give a certain applause to the player at that point. You have perfected censorship to the point of getting the companies to censor themselves. Oh, Christ. Now, to be clear as well, this is not an action taken from the companies out of their goodness of their hearts. I'm sorry, I'm having a lot of fun with this, okay? The pact is not legally binding, but it puts in writing a pledge to remove content targeted by authorities, such as effeminate men, even a broken clock is right twice a day, and money worship. We're getting dangerously close to the J word here, aren't we? Money worship. Ooh, all socialism really is the same at the end of the day. Now, this is of course coming due to regulative pushes made by the actual Chinese Communist Party. I believe they mention it further down here. The convention comes after the National Press and Publication Administration introduced China's most stringent measures yet to tackle video game addiction. We talked about this previously, so we're not going to delve too much into that here. But this is two things, right? So, first and foremost, it is the document professes the company's commitment to incorporating anti-addiction features into video games. This also applies to single-player and console games. So to the Guardian writer who was like, oh no, this is just online games, you see. It's not going to go any further than that. Because it turns out that censorship spreads rather quickly, it seems, which has not traditionally been considered as addictive as internet games. This will also be targeting effeminate men. No comment. Money worship and gay love. Alrighty then. I'm not even going to comment on the clock there. And of course, content deemed politically harmful or historically nihilistic. This is of course to get ahead of the regulators and a way for the companies to go, look at us, aren't we the bestest boys? Do not punish us any further, daddy-o. But there's a second part as well. The company said they will resolutely boycott circumventing regulatory procedures. And using overseas gaming platforms to provide services to domestic users. What is it that Steam is doing right now by still having the international version of Steam available in China without regulations? Ooh. And in fact, I do believe that they straight up say it here. This article is aimed primarily at online game stores such as Steam and the Epic Game Store. Well, look at that. We've found a way to use the club of censorship to beat our competitors over the head with. Applause, Tencent and NetEase. I mean, hey, again, if you've got to live with a ridiculous government, you might as well find some use to, use it to your advantage, mightn't you? Oh, heavens. I'm almost at the point of just admiring this now. And so right, this is again, it's not a bad move. It's an entirely cynical move as well. Now, in many ways, it tries to drape itself in the cloak of goodness, much incidentally like SJWs in the modern day West as well. It is full of similarities. SJW, social justice warrior. Yes, we may be arguing for literal segregation, racism, exclusion, and genuine bigotry, but we're just gonna say that no, we're against all of these horrible things, even as we do everything in our power to put them into actual law. You do the vilest things imaginable whilst cloaking yourself in the wings of angels. A, rather effective strategy throughout history, in fact, as it has been proven again and again. But this is also, of course, a very much so a business move, a way to begin cracking down on Steam and the Epic Game Store, though I do believe Epic actually has an office in China, so it wouldn't be as much of an overseas white devil in that regard. But also, of course, the way they're cracking down on this too is one amusing thing. Companies are also pledging to stop offering account rentals and gaming companion services to young players. Oh, you best bet I clicked on that. So what is a gaming companion service? Well, it is exactly what you'd think it is. Game companions. I hired 3 women to play online games with me. Rightio. We've arrived at that point, have we? For just $4.50 an hour, someone will keep you company and watch you back in Overwatch, League of Legends, and more. I feel almost legally obligated to read this out in my cringiest Japanese schoolgirl accent. But frankly, I don't think my spine could tolerate it. So I will have to recuse myself on this particular occasion. In a voice reminiscent of an anime schoolgirl, Luo, I'm just gonna give up on that, advertised herself to me in an online chat room, offering to be my gaming companion in Overwatch for the next hour. I think you can see where this is heading. Though to be fair as well, right, okay, because allow me to actually take this thing, because I laugh, right, because this is kind of insane in many ways, but let me show you the site they are linked to, Daofeng Esport Games, right? Immediately, the primary selling point becomes rather apparent, and why are they all so white? This woman is whiter than me. I am a literal, actual, genuine, verified snow monkey, and I am not this white. I'm just gonna assume this is some kind of Chinese fetish and move right on along there. This is obviously a lot of very attractive women offering their services as professional gamers. Oh hey, a man, I think. Jesus, one. We found one, and hey, he's going for a higher rate than the women. Good job, my dude. I think that's a man. Yeah, I'm gonna assume that's a man. So, again, and this isn't just like hot female companion, although, again, as you can see, there's a certain focal point here, absolutely. But the women's profile actually include like their scores in video games and what they're best at. As the article actually goes on to explain as well, I think on this one here, yes. Nowadays, Luhai plays a lot of games, mostly first-person shooters. She's particularly well versed in Overwatch and the Call of Duty series, and I saw immediately that it was no empty boast. She knows each map in Overwatch like the back of her hand. As we played, Luhai was constantly reading the field and alerting me to all nooks and crannies that might conceal potential threats. So these chicks are apparently just straight up pro gamers as well, and they won't just whisper sweet nothings in your ears, they'll carry your ass all the way to victory. Whilst also, let's see here, alright, yes. Apparently somebody needed to switch to a tank, and so the player was like, okay, I'll do that, although I don't want to. And, oh no, she said, you stay put, let me try this. Then I heard the click-clack of keyboard. Within 30 seconds, she had convinced another player in our team to switch to tank in a chat. Boss, you play whatever you want. Again, you can see the thing here, can't you? And there is a particular phenomenon over in the East called, hosts, I believe it was. A really big deal in Korea, apparently, I've been told, where you have a person who is attractive, of course, who are selling their services not as a traditional prostitute. The point isn't you don't get to bang the person. Instead, they are going out with you to have a date, a party, etc. And it's all about giving the customer the best possible conceivable time, essentially. It is selling companionship, selling friendship in its own way, I do suppose. And is this not a legitimate business thing? You know, that's the interesting question. Because I made a video recently talking about how robots are beginning to replace workers in many particular fields, like restaurant work, for example. There's nothing particularly unique to waiting tables that a robot probably can't do already, and if not already, then very soon, and probably for a hell of a lot cheaper than a full-time employee. In such a circumstance where we see more and more robots competing for more and more jobs with more and more real people, eventually we are going to have to see more and more jobs being transferred onto the online space and probably transition from the service industry we know it and onto more of a social service industry where you are selling literally companionship, or you are selling skills in a video game. I mean, I could entirely imagine buying private tutor lessons from a pro video gamer, for example, if you're really serious about your Dota play and so on. And again, is that not a legitimate enough business? I mean, hell, I would consider something like this, where you actually have to provide a service, a actual gameplay, skill, interactions, etc., to be a hell of a lot more of an actual job, quote-unquote, than being an e-thought, for example. I'd say the skill ceiling on this is a hell of a lot higher. Though you do run into the same problems with simpage, of course. I do believe it was mentioned in this article as well that apparently a lot of these women did this as a way to gain a quote-unquote sugar daddy. I think we can all imagine what that means in this context. But still, I mean, then again, I'm assuming this is the price, so 40 yuan, I'd guess, or I don't know, because they mentioned the price here was $4.50, wasn't it, for an hour. These people are not paid very well. To the point where I'm wondering if this could be called a job, not because of what's involved in it, but could you survive off $4.50 an hour? That might potentially be a little bit harsh, particularly unless you've got a fairly steady supply of customers, shall we say. Nevertheless, I have wandered quite far off the original point, haven't I? It is very interesting to see this, it really is. The Chinese gaming companies are again cloaking themselves in the wings of the angels in accordance to local culture, and then turning around to beat their competition over the head with a very hard stick. Quite reminiscent of what we've got over here, no doubt about it. And also the move against online job in this case. I need to use that site as a reference when I make my video on actual online jobs, because it is an interesting idea, is it not? Anywho, until next time, I have been Arch, thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. Till then, have a good day.